think of more things to talk about as time goes on. But we do want to do a Dynamite review for this week. Did you watch it, Robert, or what?
I did, and I didn't fall asleep this time on any of the segments.
I watched it 3 times, believe it or not.
Okay.
Why? Because it was so good,
You had time to watch it 3 times?
Well, last night, okay, I was doing the doggy proofing, so I left it on. I didn't really watch it when I was doing that. I just listened to it. And then the second time, I kind of watched it more, but I was falling asleep. And then today at work, I watched it all over again. So I was really trying to decide whether it was good or not. I mean, there were some things that were okay. I think the issue with these AEW shows is that, like back in the days, if we were waiting for Stone Cold to come out, for example, and we had to sit through a bunch of other crap, it would be worth it, because it's like, okay, the rest of the show was kind of whack. We had to watch Godfather and Val Venus, but at least there's Stone Cold, so it's worth it. Now, if we're sitting through a bunch of crap, is the good stuff of the show really worth it to sit through? Did it give you enough happiness and joy to really make it worthwhile? So overall, I don't know if you get a sense of that once you've seen the show. Like once you're done with the show, like are you pissed off? Are you pissed off that I spent that much time watching it and there was no payoff, or was it like okay, that type of thing?
Is this a question, or is this open to? Okay.
It's open.
Okay,
it's open to discussion. If you want to comment, that's just the thought I had. But let's go ahead. I'll go through the show with you guys. All right.
Let's go through the show. I think that's better.
I got 15 segments, but we're not gonna really discuss a lot of it. A lot of it was fluff or filler, as you might. This is the Go Home show. This is May 24th, 2023. Double or Nothing is on Sunday, so this is their last chance to get people to buy the pay-per-view or buy a ticket to the show. And of course, they start the show with the highest-rated guy that they could think of, Orange Cassidy, the greatest wrestler of modern times. And Excalibur even said he's seemingly unbeatable. So he fought Kyle Fletcher from Aussie Open, also representing the United Empire. I know Vlad also doesn't want to talk about this, but I don't know if Robert has any thought.
What makes you think that? I don't. Is it my consistent, my consistent comments of me not understanding why this guy is constantly on my screen? I don't know. I'll just quickly say this was incredible in the sense that he was kicking out of some. I saw a bit. I was kind of forwarding, but he was kicking out of everything. Everything possible was done to this clown, and he was kicking out of it all. And then he won on a roll-up, and I nearly threw the remote at the TV, but I was like, you know what? I shouldn't even be surprised. I don't. And plus, does anyone care? Does anyone know? Does anyone care who this other guy is? Kyle Fletcher of Aussie whatever.
Well, he's in AEW now. They signed him.
Congratulations, you're all elite. Welcome to this wonderful place. Anyways, they wasted 20 minutes on this match. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it was unbelievable, the stuff that he was kicking out of him. Just insane. That's all I got on that.
Robert, any thoughts on this? You want to comment?
Yeah, there was one bad spot where I think they completely botched, where Orange Cassidy jumped off the ring corner, right? And then I think he was supposed to do like a catch what's his name, Kyle, whatever, and do like a DDT on the apron or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
They completely botched it. It looked really bad. And then they even showed a slow-mo replay of it. I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. It was
Yeah,
bad enough the
they
first
they
time.
still sold it.
Yeah,
He still sold it, whatever it
it
was.
was
I
bad
remember that.
enough. I think it was Taz that was trying to like explain what happened. But yeah, it was bad enough seeing it the first time around in real time. But then they did a slow motion replay of it. I'm like, no, no, bad idea, bad idea. Um,
Well, they had to sell that because that was the point of the match. The point of the match was they were trying to get countouts. Like Orange Cassidy's struggling. This guy is actually pretty good, and he hit that move, and he went in, and he was telling the referee to count, like please count him
yeah,
out, so
okay,
I could get out of this.
sure, but it was a bad botch
Yeah,
thing. But and then to the point that Vlad was mentioning, there was a point towards the end of the match where I don't remember his name. Kyle, what's his
Fletcher,
Fletcher?
Kyle Fletcher.
That's how
Yeah, Kyle Fletcher.
He did two tombstones.
No.
Not tombstones. Well, pile drivers. He did two
Pile
pile
driver.
drivers on Orange Cassidy, one after the other. One also was like he jumped up in the air and did a tombstone from there. So two
Yeah.
pile drivers, and Orange Cassidy still kicked out of it. I thought that was very ridiculous.
It was absurd. It was absurd.
Ridiculous.
Yes, I think it was from the top,
Are you kidding
the top
me?
rope. It was from the top rope, and at that point, I was in awe of what they were doing. I couldn't even believe. I mean, there's one thing that they're trying to put this guy over, but it's getting to the point where it's becoming like a mock. It's becoming a mockery of wrestling at this point.
Well, if you
Yeah.
my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
So, in my opinion, for the overall arc of the development of the Orange Cassidy character, I found it interesting that he was playing some cat and mouse games. It seemed like he felt a little threatened by Kyle Fletcher here. You know, a lot of laissez-faire, easygoing attitude, but I think this one was a little different. It looked like he actually felt like he had to try some different things to win the match, i.e. the count out, trying to get him counted out. So to me, that was interesting. And also, Orange Cassidy is the master of the tight roll-up, definitely. Like, he does it so well. He can literally pin anybody after, and he can take so much damage. He's just this guy to me is over. He's over.
All right, hold on.
Wait a second. Time out again.
Hold on.
Time out.
Look, I know
Is
this
part of
guy
the Mark
got.
show?
I know this guy got you like 200 something views. But come on, really?
Well, last week he was trying to convince me that the guy was super strong because he was going to take on 21 idiots in a battle royal.
Oh yeah, he is so good. He's super strong. He's super badass, fearless,
Oh, good.
fearless.
All right. I think it's time to move on to the next segment. Can we go to segment
Yes.
2?
Yes.
All right. Segment 2 was Ricky Starks getting interviewed, and he said he was done with the Bullet Club. Like he didn't care that he got disqualified last week. He just wants to move on. But then they jumped him and whooped his ass. So that's not over. Ricky Starks is going to be continue to be distracted with that. I think Ricky Starks could be a major player in AEW personally. I think Jay White is also really good too, but this whole thing it seems pointless, you know.
The angle sucks.
The angle sucks, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll just
I agree with that part.
We'll move on. There was a Jungle Boy pre-taped promo, which to me was kind of boring. I don't know if you guys have any comments on it. You could just
I remember saying that it wasn't too bad. You know, I mean, I don't remember it being boring. I actually thought he was a little kind of fired up, and he was saying some decent things. I can't remember specifics now, unfortunately, as I'm not taking notes anymore on these shows because it's not deserving of it. But I do remember it being like a solid promo where he kind of was showing some emotion, and it was a pre-tape, but it wasn't bad, and I'll leave it at that.
He said he's driven to Las Vegas for Double or Nothing 3 years in a row, and each time he's different. He's developed more. He's had experiences. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Next, we got Dax and Cash. They came in and cut a very insulting promo on Double J and his wife and Jay Lethal. Extremely insulting. I don't know what the hell their problem is. Mark Briscoe then comes out and he's pissed off that he got pile driven last week, even though Dax was blinded by alcohol. So, what do you guys think of this? You guys have any comments on Mark Briscoe not watching the show apparently last week?
I guess he couldn't handle the pile driver as well as Orange Cassidy can.
Oh yeah, he was pissed off. He was pissed off about it. But it seems like a plot hole. One of those plot holes like, hey, you just watched the show back last week and see that it was an accident. Come on. They're really going to go with this as the reason that he's pissed off at him. So, I don't know. But if it leads to a feud with Dax, I guess that could be okay, but it's just a stupid reason.
That's like every wrestling angle when, an accident happens. Apparently nobody watches the show back, ever. So,
yeah, that's not just, to be fair, that's not just AEW.
It's not just this angle.
Yeah, it's not just this. I mean,
I got to point it out.
Yeah. Well, I think Dax cut a pretty good promo. I mean, he was, pretty ramped up there, and obviously he took some shots at Karen. He even mentioned Dixie Carter's name. I saw that. What do I think of this angle? I mean, I want to like it because of the people involved. Because I like the people involved. I like Jay. I like Mark Briscoe. Obviously, when I mean Jay Lethal. Jeff Jarrett, I've always respected his wrestling mind. FTR, I'm a huge fan of their work. But this, like I said, it's kind of a silly type of thing. I mean, yeah, at the end, Mark Briscoe slapped everybody around. He pushed everyone aside and made it seem like he's not going to be on anybody's side. I get what they're going for on this, but there's too many silly aspects of it that it's like, I don't know. It's hard to take seriously. I want to like it, but I can't, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And then, so as Mark Briscoe was walking to the back, he bumps into Jay Lethal, and he's not really happy with them either. He says he's tired of all this bullshit, which is actually what we were thinking too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Me and you and all of us, Mark, we're tired of this bullshit.
Okay. Robert, if you don't have any comments, I'll move on.
Yeah, I don't have any comments.
Okay. This next one, I also didn't really have any comments on. Sammy Guevara cuts a promo, an interview about the title match. These go-home shows, sometimes we've already done everything. Let's go ahead and get the match together, right? I mean, I don't really want to hear them cut another promo about how they say they're going to win, personally.
Okay.
The sixth segment here is House of Black defending the Trios title against three randoms, AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. I didn't watch this, I gotta admit. There was an interesting lighting situation going on.
I like the lighting. The lighting was cool.
Yes, that's the only thing I can comment on. I wish there was something more to it than that, but that's about it.
I liked how it ended too, with like all three members of the House of Black doing submissions, with one of them doing a choke while the guy is hanging off the rope. Remember, like.
No, I didn't see that. I fucking missed it.
That's how that was. Oh, I thought that was cool. The way
there was some weird rules to this match too. Like there was no rope breaks or something, and there was no tags. You could just walk in if you want. Some weird shit. Honestly, once they said that, like, you don't have to tag, I was like, I'm not watching this match, man. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And plus, yeah, go ahead, guys. I'm not going to say
I like
anything,
the ending. I think the ending is, if you fast forward to how it ends, I thought that's worth watching. But
All right. I mean, there was no chance they were going to lose their titles to these three guys, so that they really gave me very little reason to pay attention. We got Blackpool Combat Club in the back somewhere, cutting a promo.
Near the trash cans.
Yeah. They say they're standard stuff. They're the best and all that. I don't know. Yeah. Danielson and Moxley, they both got a chance to talk. There's a tag team title match for the Ring of Honor tag team title, so they're talking that up that they're going to win that. You guys, if you guys care to comment on this, I don't know. I don't think it was that important.
Not really.
No.
All right.
Nothing.
All right. So the next segment, we got great backdrop, by the way, Robert. We got the Pillars angle. MJF comes in, and business picks up, right? For real.
Yeah.
So MJF walks in like a boss and grabs Tony Schiavone's coffee, takes a sip, and throws the rest of it on him.
And then he spits at the fan. Did you see that?
No, I missed that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You got to go back and look at the clip. He spit at a fan.
This was me trying to do some extra work while I was watching the show, so I might have missed some tiny details. But let me see. Cuts a promo about all the guys. Cuts a promo about Las Vegas people and stuff. Darby comes out. Darby cuts a promo about how he used to work at the 99-cent store and had to clean the toilets. Woe is me. And then MJF listens to it, listens to every word of it, and kicks him in the balls.
Yeah.
And Sammy charges in, chases him off, and then Jungle Boy is there to surround him, and they leave him laying. So I guess they're trying to say, hey, he's got 3 guys against him who don't like him, so this is going to be a tough one for him to get out of this. So any comments? I'll start with Robert. Any comments about the coffee, Darby Allin's promo, and just the fact that he is getting ready for this match?
MJF's promo was awesome. I thought it was great. The rest of it was okay. It was Darby. I wasn't too much of a fan of Darby Allin's promo. Like, I didn't care much that he used to work in the 99-cent store and clean toilets. Like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. My favorite part of that whole segment was MJF's promo, personally. The rest of it was just, it was okay.
You really believe that he can lose?
MJF?
Yeah, this Sunday?
That he can lose? Well, yeah. But I don't think he will. Only because I think he's still the hottest prospect in AEW, and like his title reign hasn't been that long yet. I think he's gonna hold on to the title for a little bit longer at least.
So he can't lose. He's not gonna lose.
If he's had it longer, I would say there's a bigger chance of him losing. But he can still lose. I just don't think it'll happen. Yeah.
All right, Vlad. What do you think of this whole segment? From MJF to Darby to the ending.
I mean, MJF's heel work is impeccable. I mean, he's one of the great heels, not just in modern wrestling, but maybe of all time. Like, he's right up there. His heel work is tremendous. Like, on the mic, just his facials, everything he does when he's, like, not involved in some silly stuff, when he sometimes has been, is just tremendous. It's just every movement has a purpose. So I'm very impressed with this guy as far as not just if we're talking about his heel persona and what he does and what he brings to the table as far as that goes. He's got that down to like a science. The rest of the, I've said before, I'm not really fond of this whole thing, but Darby tried, and I kind of wished it would have just been one-on-one with him and Darby, because I think they're the two players here. They're the 2 more important people. That's what I think. I mean, Darby tried. I think it was decent, but he's kind of cut similar stuff before, where he said, like, I had a rough go at it. I didn't know where I was going to do with my life. I ended up.
I lived in my car.
Right. And then, I became a wrestler, and then a crazy billionaire hired me.
Yeah, some idiot paid me a bunch of money.
And now some crazy billionaire is paying me almost $1 million a year, and I'm living my dreams. And now I'm gonna go climb Mount Everest. Whatever. I mean, I don't have anything against Darby. I think he's kind of a interesting personality in that sense, and I wish it was just with him and MJF. But MJF is, I mean, I've said it before. He's top notch. He's like a modern day Ric Flair in that sense.
Dude, I didn't like Darby Allin's promo. I'll just come out and say it. Like, just like you, I don't have anything against him, but I just don't like how he starts the diatribe. Like, after MJF like really insults everyone, he starts and comes out with his prepared speech. It looks obviously prepared, sounds obviously prepared. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I think I wish he would be a little more like Sting. If you're a depressive case, just don't say anything. Just like, just be mysterious. No one wants to hear that you're fucking sad all the time, and you're sad that you had a job. Like, fuck you, man. A lot of people have jobs, dude. Like, a lot of you're not the only guy who's lived in his car. Not that I've lived in my car, but he didn't have to live in his car, this motherfucker. You could have had a job. You could have got a job and got a roommate or something. So.
There we go. Kaon's got his solution for ending poverty. Find a roommate. And live with someone.
Get a job and find a roommate. I don't know. I just it doesn't sound good to me personally. So, and then
I'm just saying that he tried. I didn't say it was great. I just said or good even. I'm just saying that he's trying.
Well, it'll be interesting how MJF gets out of this match. We'll see how they book it, because he's gonna get out of it, but it's a difficult thing. Like a guy, when someone's in a fatal four-way with three other guys who don't like him, you'd think they would. But even if they get him out of the way, then they're gonna have to fight with each other. So it'll be interesting how it goes down. So we'll see. Let's move along. We got Taya Valkyrie and Lady Frost, who I've seen on Ring of Honor. I like her. She's pretty nice. But nothing much here. Taya Valkyrie's going to face Jade Cargill at the pay-per-view, and I think they should put her over. Personally, I don't think they will, but we'll see what happens. Okay, now we got some big-time stuff. Tony Khan is out for an announcement. He's going to announce...
You're kidding me. Tony Khan is back.
This is a big announcement. So as soon as he announced that Collision is in the United Center in Chicago, the crowd popped like crazy, and I think we all know why. And I did hear a few CM Punk chants. So here we go again. They're gonna start a new show and bring CM Punk out again. They did this already with Rampage. They popped a big rating for Rampage, 1 million people, and then they didn't follow up. So we're going to try it again. Are you excited, guys, or what? CM Punk is coming back.
You want me to? I'll let Robert go first.
Okay. I'll definitely look forward to the first show, being that it's in Chicago. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a really hot crowd, and that'll definitely help. Going forward after that, I'm not sure. We'll just see how it goes. But for sure, that first show I'll watch. I'm excited for that.
I hope they don't start it off like they did with Rampage, doing nothing. Just like bringing him out to like wave at the crowd and everything. Like they got to start with an angle. It's got to go straight to something. He's got to come out and attack somebody, or like a match ends and or he saves somebody or something. I don't know. I don't want him to just come out and cut a promo. Personally, unless he's gonna cut a real good promo, like destroying everybody. But Vlad, do you have any hope for this? I mean, is this gonna be Rampage all over again, or are they gonna actually pull this off this time?
Well, I have some hope because Punk is involved, and it looks like the guys that are not featured on their usual shows, guys that I kind of want to see could be on there, like Miro and Samoa Joe and a couple others. Well, Punk, obviously, that goes without saying. Maybe FTR will be on there, and who knows what else. Guys that I kind of like as wrestlers and kind of like some of their their characters as well. So there's a chance, but I mean, obviously Tony Khan is still booking, and that concerns me. And I don't know. I mean, I have concerns, but it will be interesting. It will be interesting what happens. I will definitely watch the first couple and see what happens with that. But
Well,
yeah,
maybe
obviously that's a
since
concern.
sorry, Vlad. I was gonna say maybe since they're gonna split up the rosters and supposedly he's gonna be like featured on this show. Maybe this
Yeah.
gives it more hope than Rampage.
Absolutely.
So let's see what happens. Let's wrap this up real quick.
I'll also
go ahead. Go ahead, Robert.
I'll also watch the show when it comes to Regina.
Oh yeah, it is. So it
I'll
is.
do that again.
It is Regina.
That's really how it's pronounced.
I mean, apparently.
Well, he didn't correct me.
I read it and I'm thinking it's Regina, but okay.
I mean, someone should find that out. We'll find that out for. Someone should find that out for Tony Khan because maybe it is Regina though. I don't know.
You would think because he's called it that now twice.
Yeah, someone would have corrected him. You know.
And this time I heard it. Last week I was like, what? He did what now? This week I heard it. I was like, well, yeah, Robert's gonna get a kick out of this, but maybe that is the way you say it. Maybe that really is the way you say it.
Yeah, maybe it is, but I don't know. Every time I read that the way it's spelled out, I'm always
Yeah.
thinking Regina.
Yeah, that's funny.
He pronounces you. You want him to pronounce it the way Borat pronounces, which I.
Well, he is the Borat of wrestling promoters, and wrestling owners and promoters. So,
All right, guys.
that would be
It's getting late. Let's wrap this up. I got a couple more segments. So, Adam Hangman Page cuts a promo with an eye patch because the Blackpool Combat Club gouged his eye out with a screwdriver. So I don't know. I really don't know what he said. He's back in the Elite. They're his family or something like that.
That's
Whatever.
basically what he said. They're his family. Yeah, exactly. You got it. You nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The eye patch thing would be cooler if they didn't have such a horrible segment that where it happened. So that's why we can't really take that seriously. But
Yeah.
so the next segment was kind of interesting to me. Jericho and Adam Cole's contract signing. I gotta say I'll give Jericho praise for this segment, although sometimes he could talk a little bit tongue in cheek, like it doesn't sound realistic. But for this one, I thought he did good, and Adam Cole did good too, in my opinion. What did you guys think? Or I'll start with Vlad.
It was decent. It was probably better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, we know how these contract signings usually go. They're usually, somebody's going to end up fighting or something's going to happen. Somebody's going to attack someone. So I was already prepared for that. They're kind of like, they use them as like a gimmick. But as far as this thing goes, yeah, it was, it wasn't bad. They were kind of taking it somewhat seriously, and there was some sort of serious tones to it that was not kind of surprising because Jericho, the previous couple of weeks, has looked like kind of like a buffoon in this whole thing. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought I didn't know the pay-per-view was so close. I thought he was going to get some heat back before they got to this match. They've already destroyed him, and so then. Well, before we move on to the big surprise at the end of the segment, Robert, Adam Cole and Chris Jericho's promos, pretty good.
Oh yeah, I loved. Well, they were both good, but I especially loved Jericho's heel work here.
Yes.
I'm not a bitch. I'm not from Las Vegas. You want to hit me? Hit me. He was great, I thought, in this particular segment.
Yeah.
I liked it. There is one other thing I want to say, but it's kind of leading up to the next segment, so I'll just let you go on to the next part you were going to say first.
Oh, well, Adam Cole obviously needs some backup because there's 5 guys on the JAS. And so they needed to find someone who was just as crazy as all 5 of them combined. And Jericho goes, well, who could be as crazy as all 5 of us combined? And obviously, like, I don't know why I didn't know this, but Adam Cole is good friends with Sabu. And so he just called up his homie Sabu, and it's random as fuck, but okay. I mean, I'm happy to see Sabu. I bet you he's going to take a crazy bump just because he's crazy. But what do you guys think of that?
I was like, what the hell? Does this guy have to do with any... How old is Sabu?
It felt random.
I was really random. It was out of nowhere. I didn't understand what he had to do with... What does he have to do with any of this? And what kind of... I mean, how old is he and what kind of bump can he still take? I don't...
He's going to take the same exact bump with the steel chair flying into the fucking...
Flying into a table?
Yes.
I found it silly that he was wearing the badge, the guest badge or whatever. Like, put it in your pocket or something, man.
I mean, it's because nobody knows who Sabu is, so if they saw him, like, walking around the back with...
Man,
they'd be like, hey, man, get out of here.
I mean, I know Sabu kind of has a cult following amongst, you know, the ECW crowd in the 90s and stuff like that. And I know he's one that will take crazy spots and go through tables, flaming tables, and shred his forehead, with some good, some good blade work and stuff like that. But I don't understand what he has to do with any of this, and how is this old man gonna? I don't know.
Well, maybe him and Adam Cole were, they bumped into each other at a bar or something, or at an autograph signing, and they hit it off real good.
That's more likely, yeah.
And he said, "Hey, man, if you ever get into any trouble with anybody, don't hesitate to call me, man. I got your back." And he's like, "All right, man. Thank you, man. Thank you." So maybe that's what happened.
I think it's just Tony Khan being a mark for the 90s wrestling. And
probably. They just got to squeeze him in somewhere.
Squeeze in Sabu. Like I said, I don't have anything against Sabu, but this was just dumb and really random and not more nonsensical.
Is it dumb? Robert, are you with Vlad? Is it dumb? Or can you get excited to see Sabu?
Well, I don't know about dumb, but it did feel random. I mean, it's not that I wasn't happy to see Sabu, but like this just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm happy to see Sabu's alive.
Not only is he alive, bro. Listen, Sabu is all elite, baby. He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on the show. He's gonna be He's gonna be one of the TNT champions.
More than just a one-time. Oh, you think it's more than just a one-time appearance?
I don't know. I'm kidding. I have no idea. But okay. Okay, it is what it is. So we're basically done with the show. Daniel Garcia and Roderick Strong. Nothing there except for the Daniel Garcia dance, which is my favorite dance. I don't know have you guys seen it yet or no?
I still haven't seen it.
You don't know the Daniel Garcia dance?
All his matches. I forward to all Daniel Garcia matches as soon as I see him.
I just had one comment. It was a thing that I was gonna say when I was talking about the Jericho segment. So the Jericho and Adam Cole segment eventually transitioned to that match. But in between that that transition, they showed like a promo of I think the women's title match. I don't know. It just I felt like that promo kind of ruined the continuity of the transition from the contract signing to the Roderick and Daniel Garcia match. It felt kind of awkward to me. They just placed it there and then look, they're fighting.
Yeah, that's
formatting
issue. But
they didn't set it up well. They didn't make the audience feel. Yeah, and that's a big issue with AEW in my opinion. WWE will make anything seem like a big deal. They'll set it up. They'll tell you beforehand it's going to happen. They'll tell you in the morning it's going to happen. They'll tell you when the show starts it's going to happen. They get people excited for nothing, basically. and AEW actually have exciting things, and they don't promote anything. So that's something I think they could work on. But their shows are too jam-packed. That's why they don't really have much time for talking things up that are coming later on in the show. But anyways, I don't even know who won that match. Do you guys know? I think it was Roderick Strong.
Probably Roderick Strong, most likely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways, in between there was this weird video package about Willow Nightingale beating Sasha Banks in Japan. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yes.
I didn't see any of it. I mean, I don't watch the Japan stuff. I'm trying to get into it, but I didn't see this. I don't know if Willow beat her clean or if there was some kind of shenanigans from someone else. They didn't really say anything about that.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know if she beat her clean, but I know that Mercedes got injured, like legitimately injured. That's what I heard. But
Well, that power bomb that Willow Nightingale puts people in looks pretty vicious. I'm surprised some people can take it so easily, but I wouldn't be surprised if she got hurt working with Willow. I mean, Willow's not that she's an unsafe worker, but I don't know. I got to go back and figure out what happened there. If any of you find out, let me know, because I want to know. I don't think she beat her clean, but they didn't really mention anything like that. And they used Sasha Banks on the show in AEW, so that's something. It's interesting. And the last segment was the Ring of Honor Tag Team title match, the Lucha Brothers against the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. And Daniel Bryan was on commentary. The only thing I'll say about it is the ending, and Daniel Bryan acting surprised that the Young Bucks were there to interfere. And he's like, what the hell? So I think he put that over well. I think Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, I think he did a good job in this segment. He put this segment over. Other than that, there was really nothing to care about for the match. But I thought it was funny that he was surprised that the Young Bucks were there. I'm like, why are you surprised? You're in a feud with them. It's like, what the fuck? Like, he was so confident that they were going to win the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. It was like already like a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. It was weird because they've been beating them up for weeks, and he's surprised that they would interfere in the match.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty hilarious, personally. Yeah. I thought this was pretty good. Robert, any thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I agree with that was pretty good. But I also wanted to point out like one specific thing that happened in the match that caught my attention was when Claudio Castagnoli was doing the spinning move on one of the Lucha Brothers, and Wheeler Yuta drop kicked that guy while he was still getting spun around. I thought that was pretty hilarious. I never seen that done before. Even when he was still Cesaro in WWE, like I never saw anyone kick that guy while he was getting spun around.
Yeah,
that was pretty hilarious.
That is interesting. Well, it should be an interesting match once if they finally get into their hardcore crazy anarchy match at the pay-per-view. So before I get into the pay-per-view stuff, you guys want to give a grade for this show? Robert, how about you first?
I'll go with C. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't anything great either.
Vlad?
Yeah, I probably will second that. I was thinking between C- and C, but I will give it a C because of MJF actually being on the show and having a pretty entertaining promo. And that was enough for me to at least give it a C.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it a C+. I'll go a little bit better than you guys. Just for, MJF coming out looking like $1 million like he always does. The Jericho and Cole contract signing, I think, was a good segment. And I guess that's it. The rest of it was kind of a lot of fluff. Oh, and the ending. The ending I didn't mind either. Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan was good in that segment. Good acting. good acting. Since we're Smarks here and we know the show is fake, good acting. We can say that on this